Kim Seokjin, better known as Jin of BTS, continues to solidify his reputation as one of the most versatile and celebrated artists of his generation. From his soaring vocals to his commanding presence as a fashion icon, Jin's influence now stretches far beyond K-pop. Analysts and entertainment insiders argue that if measured against American idols, Jin would rank comfortably among the top 10 most recognized and respected artists in the world today. Jin's voice has long been one of BTS's defining strengths. With songs like Awake, Epiphany, and Moon, he showcased a vocal color that blends warmth with emotional power, resonating deeply with listeners across the globe. His post-military solo career has only cemented this reputation, with albums like Happy, 2024, and Echo, 2025, proving his ability to deliver heartfelt ballads and experimental tracks that dominate streaming platforms worldwide. His latest single, I'll Be There, recently surpassed 200 million streams on Spotify, a milestone that places him shoulder to shoulder with international pop heavyweights. Beyond music, Jin has seamlessly transitioned into the world of fashion and branding. As Gucci's global ambassador, he has become a centerpiece at prestigious fashion weeks in Paris and, soon, Milan. His elegance and charisma have been praised by critics who describe him as a natural model, capable of elevating any campaign with his refined presence. His appointment as Maison Fred's first-ever global ambassador and his latest role as the face of Lucidoel in Japan further prove his ability to command industries that extend far beyond the stage. Even more striking is Jin's versatility. He has shown equal talent as a variety show entertainer, a brand powerhouse, and a cultural figure admired not only for his skills but also for his wit, humility, and relatability. Media outlets have noted that Jin possesses a rare balance: the gravitas of a global star and the humor of a down-to-earth figure who connects effortlessly with fans. This multifaceted charm has made him one of the most loved and respected personalities in entertainment. When compared to Western idols and American pop stars, Jin's profile stands tall. His influence, bolstered by BTS's unmatched global reach, places him in the same conversation as some of the world's most powerful entertainers. Industry experts argue that Jin's ability to dominate across music, fashion, and advertising makes him a contender for the top 10 most famous artists globally. Unlike many stars who specialize in one domain, Jin's breadth across industries sets him apart, giving him an edge as both an artist and a cultural icon. Ultimately, Jin's greatness lies not only in his achievements, but in the consistency with which he reinvents himself while staying true to his identity. From stadium stages to luxury runways, from heartfelt ballads to global campaigns, he embodies the very definition of excellence in modern entertainment. As ARMY and the world continue to watch his career unfold, one truth is clear: Jin is not simply an idol. He is an icon whose influence knows no borders. Western media outlets have increasingly taken note of Jin's expanding global influence, with several high-profile publications placing him among the ranks of the world's most prominent entertainers. Billboard recently highlighted Jin's solo achievements, describing his post-military comeback as one of the most seamless transitions in K-pop history. The article praised his ability to balance commercial success with artistic authenticity, noting that his songs carry emotional weight while still dominating global charts. Rolling Stone went a step further, publishing an editorial that examined Jin's rise as a cultural figure. The piece argued that Jin represents a new archetype of stardom, combining the traditional strengths of a vocalist with the crossover appeal of a global brand ambassador. The magazine suggested that his ability to secure ambassadorships with Gucci and Maison Fred placed him in the same category as American stars like Beyoncé or Harry Styles, artists whose influence extends far beyond their music. Meanwhile, Vogue spotlighted Jin in its September issue, calling him a fashion revelation. The feature noted how his recent appearances at Paris Fashion Week blurred the lines between K-pop idol and high-fashion muse, cementing his credibility among designers and critics alike. Jin doesn't just wear clothes, the article declared. He defines them. Market analysts in the US have also begun to recognize Jin's economic impact. A study by Forbes pointed out that Jin's endorsements and collaborations could generate millions in added value for luxury brands, citing his ambassadorship with Alo Yoga that created $3.6 million in media exposure within just 24 hours. The report concluded that Jin is not only a cultural icon but also a market mover, capable of driving trends across music, fashion, and lifestyle industries simultaneously. These international acknowledgments reinforce the perception that Jin's influence is no longer confined to Asia or the BTS fandom. Instead, He is being increasingly recognized as a world-class entertainer with the star power to rival America's biggest celebrities. His versatility, charisma, and work ethic have made him a figure that transcends genre, language, and borders. As global outlets continue to spotlight his every move, Jin's place among the top echelon of world entertainment appears all but secured. The question is no longer whether he belongs among the top 10 most famous artists globally. It is how far he will climb and what new barriers he will break next. The conversation about Jin BTS has evolved beyond comparisons. No longer is he simply being measured against American idols or global pop icons. He is redefining the very standards by which stardom is judged. His ability to dominate across industries, from music to fashion to beauty, demonstrates a rare versatility that few artists in history have ever achieved. Unlike many celebrities whose influence peaks in a single arena, Jin's reach continues to expand in every direction. On stage, his voice captivates millions. In fashion, his elegance reshapes runways. In endorsements, his name translates directly into market impact. Every step of his career proves that he is not just keeping up with global stars. He is setting a pace that others are struggling to match. What sets Jin apart most, however, is the authenticity that underpins his success. Fans and critics alike recognize that behind the dazzling campaigns and historic achievements lies a man whose warmth, humor, and humility continue to shine. This combination of artistry and humanity is what makes him not just a star, but a cultural beacon whose presence resonates far beyond entertainment. As the world watches his next chapter unfold, one truth becomes undeniable. Jin is not merely one of the top 10 most famous artists globally. He is the artist rewriting what global fame means in the modern era. From Seoul to New York, from Tokyo to Milan, his influence is not a reflection of borrowed success, but a force entirely his own, an industry that constantly seeks the next big thing. Jin has proven that he is not just the moment, he is the standard. And as he continues to rise, the world is left with one question: how much higher can Seokjin climb when he already stands among the greatest? The phenomenon surrounding Jin BTS is more than the story of a single artist's rise. It is the story of how one man has come to symbolize the global reach of K-pop, the evolution of celebrity, and the merging of art with influence. His career trajectory reflects a larger cultural moment where borders no longer define success, and where a South Korean singer can stand shoulder to shoulder with the biggest names in Hollywood. Industry experts argue that Jin's success lies in his ability to remain timeless while adapting to change. He has embraced his role as a vocalist, a model, a brand ambassador, and a global personality without ever losing the sincerity that fans first fell in love with. That sincerity is what transforms his achievements into movements. When Jin sings, millions listen. When he models, fashion houses listen. When he endorses, markets move. His presence is not confined to one stage or one country. It reverberates everywhere. Perhaps most importantly, Jin has achieved all of this while carrying the weight of expectation as BTS's eldest member. He was the first to enlist, the first to return, and the first to remind fans that their bond with BTS goes beyond music. His resilience has not only inspired ARMY, but has also become a blueprint for longevity in an industry often criticized for its fleeting nature. Now, with solo awards, luxury campaigns, and international recognition under his belt, Jin's story is no longer just about keeping up with global idols, it is about leading them. Publications across the West and East alike have begun to position him not as a challenger, but as a benchmark. In the eyes of millions, Jin isn't following the path of others. He is paving his own, one that future idols will inevitably walk. And yet, amid all the accolades and headlines, Jin remains grounded. Whether playfully joking with his bandmates, bowing to fans at airports, or humbly acknowledging that he doesn't deserve all the love he receives, he continues to carry himself not as a celebrity above others, but as a human who happens to shine brighter than most. This humility is what ensures that his rise will never feel distant. It will always feel personal. As we move deeper into 2025, one fact grows increasingly clear. Jin is no longer simply part of the conversation about global fame. He is the conversation. His voice, his image, his influence, each is a thread woven into the fabric of contemporary culture.